Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Sports Orbit right here on the Leadership Podcast Studio. My name is Olalale Ayeni and I'll be your host for today. I have with me in the house Salif Usman, Sports Editor, Leadership and Newspaper. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Wally. Should I say congratulations to you?
Of course, it's to the Gunners fans all over the world. Alpha, your CR7 is doing the magic at the Old Trafford.
No surprises there. If anyone is still surprised, well, I really don't know what to say to you. If you are surprised, a good one for him. Befitting homecoming, I must say.
Of course, it was an action-packed weekend in the world of sports, which actually, from the home scene to the foreign scene, where the champions of the NNL actually emerged. We see Akwa United and Rivers United, starting a continental campaign on a front foot, where they actually won their first game in the CAF Champions League and also the CAF Confederations Cup. But going forward, looking at the match that went down yesterday Sunday, of course, against Akwa United and the Nigerian team, we saw Akwa United, defeating them 1-0. But some people are saying this is Akwa United should not be celebrating at this point in time because 1-0 means nothing to the North African side. They expected to go and play those guys in a few days' time. Do you think Akwa United can hold their own against this Algerian side?
Well, I agree with those who are saying that it's not yet by Akwa United because winning it is better that they won than to play a close draw or even suffer a defeat against the Nigerian team. But even as the 1-0 victory, all they need to do now is to defend that one goal, but can they defend that one against the North African team, the Nigerian team? Well, we wait till next week what will happen at the next week, this coming weekend. But definitely it is better that they won. Although if you watch that match, Akwa United through some of the chances. So they have every opportunity to have killed that game in this first leg. I would have even say I'm surprised if they have even won that match by 5-0. But they have all chances to have scored as much as 5 goals. But they were not clinical when they come to the front of goal, and that is the thing actually count against them. The same thing also go to River United that went all the way to Tanzania. So even although
I'm going to come back to that.
Although everybody even because of Nigerian club, when you come to CAF Champions League, we are supposed to be seen as Real Madrid's, Barcelona's, Liverpool, Manchester United in the Champions League when it comes to Africa Champions League. But unfortunately, we are not up there. If not, how can Nigerian club, a runner-up of Nigerian League club, we went to Tanzania and we expected we have a doubt that either they are going to win or not to win. Tanzanians, we are not in the class of the Tanzanians, whatever it is when it comes to football. But it's good that they won 1-0, but they have an opportunity to have won that match more than 1-0. But I feel more comfortable with the River United position compared to Akwa United. And at the same time, this is just the preliminary stages. That is not where the issue is at the moment. But let's say let's say congratulations to them that they start on the winning.
Okay, Alpha, I know you're going to talk about the match that went down between Akwa United and the Algerian side, but looking at what went down, the whole lot of intrigues that happened build up to the match against Rivers United and the Alliance SC of Tanzania, where some of our players, COVID-19, just the few hours to kick off, about 6 players, according to Tanzania officials, have tested positive to COVID-19, whereas those players before traveling, they did the test and they were all given a clean bill of health. But looking at the same thing happened, I think, to Kanu Pillars when they went to the same. I think it was the same Tanzania also. They went to play last season, and key of the players were actually didn't allowed to play due to the COVID-19. Is this thing becoming a recurrent issue when it comes to the African?
When it comes to African football, you see. Yes, you see why there's no surprise where African football it is where it is, because an ordinary game of football, a team travels all the way, thousands of miles to your country. Instead of you giving them a proper welcome, act like a proper host, and you come up with all kinds of things just because you want to win a game of football. At the end of the day, it is still a game of football. This thing is supposed to be done on the pitch. But African teams are used to doing these things. You do all kind of things to frustrate your opponents, give them, treat them poorly, do all kind of things just to dampen their morale. That's why I'm particularly excited with the result that Rivers United actually got. Because in spite of all these things, they still came up with a 1-0 away victory. So I'm even happier with their own result than even the way I should have been for Akwa United. In spite of all these things, they went away with a 1-0 victory. And you know how this thing works in Africa. Tanzanians will be coming to play in Nigeria. So if the Rivers United fans decide to give them this kind of treatment, these things happen. These things happen because it's like you do these things forgetting that the next time you're still going to this person's home to also play. If you face this kind of things, I hope you shouldn't complain too. But by and large, I think African football should go beyond this age. We behave too primitive when it comes to everything, even for something as little as football. For crying out loud, football is just a sport. It's either you win or you lose. It's not a matter of life and death. For you to subject players to these kind of things. So I really think CAF should really look into this thing. And another thing is, like Salif rightly said, Nigerian football have gone past the stage where we shouldn't even be playing in the prelims.
Of course.
So it means Nigeria is not even ranked high anymore. That's what it means. Yes, because we're supposed to go straight into the qualifying proper stage, but we are even playing in the prelims. So it means, by the way they ranked Nigerian football, we're falling below.
Should you allow say that that is a reflection of the NPFL?
It's a reflection of what was happening in your league, and you earn your ranking based on your performance.
Exactly.
Okay, and if you look over there, since Enyiba won the CAF Champions League back to back, since ever then, how many times have we even get to the final?
To the final in the first place.
So
in fact, the last time that even the last time we even got to the semi-final was
Kano Pillars and Enyiba.
And how many years ago?
And you look at it just like you rightly said, if you go to the Champions League, club like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, and all those things don't play in the preliminary round. They went straight to the group stage and get the play. And that is the class we're supposed to be. Like Al-Ali for instance, don't play. Al-Ali for instance, don't play in the preliminary round. But only this one now was Salah and all those TP Mozambique and all. They don't play this preliminary round. And that's to tell us that we are even strong to play that we are the lower end of African football. And we're not supposed to be that level. So sometimes Africa, I don't know what really to say that, because we keep on saying this thing repeatedly, and yet we don't see any actions coming. And just like you say, and most of like these politics that African are fond of playing, I don't know where we are going to land. Even the national team came to happen. For instance, if you remember vividly, when we went to Benin Republic, you know what they did to the Iwobi? Say that Iwobi was tested positive and he didn't play that match. So I don't know why. Just like football is just 11%.
Yes.
All you need to do, instead of all this energy you are anticipating for splitting, why not concentrate on building on the ground? Prepare your team for and get to the pitch and get the job done. But I thank God that even as we are at our football, we are not up there in terms of the game of the pitch. In terms of politics or all these dirty policies, Nigerians we are not funny. We are not funny in that. We always receive our visitors with warm hand and give them best of treatment. We are good hospitality, and I believe that despite they are trying to frustrate us, we should maintain that good big brother, because we are still big brother in Africa, and we still always welcome those motions. Let them, they are should where they are small Africans. Let's always welcome them with the good of and welcome them instead of just trying to play along their dirty policies.
Do you think the NFF need to start playing the politics that the West African
It's not necessary. You're talking on the pitch. It's not necessary.
Yes.
You'll be talking on the pitch.
We don't need that.
But I think with this kind of thing, I think maybe what NFF should do is maybe to lay a formal complaint to CAF to complain about this kind of issues, so that CAF needs to look into this issue, so that teams who do this kind of things should be sanctioned.
Yes.
That's how it should be. It shouldn't continue this way.
Of course, the NFF at this point in time have been called upon to ensure that they take the matter to CAF and ensure that all these teams have been punished, and to ensure that we have a free flowing of football going forward. Okay, away from that, actually, we're going to wish Rivers United and Akwa United all the best for them to qualify to the group stage of the CAF Champions League. away from the home side now. We're head straight to this one coming that six Nigerian youngsters has been signed by top Ukrainian club. That their names are Prince Chibuzo, 19 years old, Chuku, Chikatara, 20 years old, Innocent Udo, Michael Obiana, Chukwumeka, and Ekima Efyong. All has been signed by top Ukrainian team. Six players, from six players are superstars from football academy in Uyo. At this point, they have, going to plan that trade in Ukraine. Can we say Ukraine is the best way to start for them? A young lad, 20, average of 2018.
A lot of them below 20 years.
Well, the Ukrainian league is not too bad. Not too bad. I mean, it's just a leeway into Europe. They're still young lads. From there, it should be more like a stepping stone. At least, thank God it's not Cyprus or Macedonia, for instance. The Ukrainian league, at least to some extent, yes, it's not. You can't rank it among the Turkish or Belgian league, but I mean, it still has some level of pedigree. So I think it's just a way of getting into Europe. From Ukrainian league, of course, focus of the big clubs. You have the potential of being noticed by those clubs more than if you were playing elsewhere.
Also, people say you have good facilities for you to
no,
train.
absolutely. And you can't even compare.
You are
That's
going to
what
learn
I'm
good
saying.
techniques there.
That's what
and
I'm
all
saying. So you
that.
can't even. There's no basis for comparison at all. So I think it's a good move for them. In anyhow you want to look at it, it's far better than Nigerian league. By the time these players play 1-2 seasons and they won't come to Nigeria with what they might have learned, even in football development, you won't be able to compare it with their mates who are still trying to apply, their trade here. Because in the truth of matter is, even in the Nigerian Professional League, how many 19-year-olds actually don the shirts of any NPFL team? They might be there maybe in the feeder team, but if you call the first level of any NPFL team, how many 19-year-olds are there? So I think it's a good move for them. It's a way of them developing themselves and hopefully from there, use it as a stepping stone to launch themselves properly into bigger clubs in Europe. So I think it's an okay move.
And for looking at the grassroots sport development in Nigeria, generally football, Costa Court, all the sports, what do you think the government, private individuals need to do for us to bring our grassroots sports at par with what we see in countries like Ukraine, countries who are not even up when it comes to where Nigeria has been rated in the world when it comes to economic growth.
Even as much as this seeing this sign of sign of this six player to the Ukrainian club, as much as it look very exciting and delighting to the families of those guys that finally they are going to see, it gets to it portray the state of our football class. If not, at their tender age like this, especially those guys to develop in the local city, you will have the
Facilities. Oh, absolutely.
and at the same time now, six players from one academy, the Super Sport Academy, this time by one club. I think, I hope and I strongly believe that the properties will follow and the properties will not get to hear some stories later in the end of the day. That bit of Okugo who is behind this, he was the one that behind Sukwezi but I hope the properties were done in the signing of those players, not do as if they just let them and then show them or just
in the name that they want to fly that trade.
I hope the properties and all necessary. Those guys they were supposed to have traveled last year because of COVID. They couldn't travel and they're going to. Well, congratulations to them. And I just like Wally had asked. In this side of this country, we still need a lot to do. Because if you even look at it really, in terms of sport development, we are just developing sport by talking by mouth. Successful government at the state level, at federal level, at every level, always talking we are doing this. But we don't. If we move around within Nigeria, did you see any physical this sport facility that will prepare the children? And we are even getting the worst. Okay, now sport and school supposed to go hand in hand. But most of the school we have today don't even have anything to call sports.
Yes.
In fact, there's no even sport in their curriculum. Because when you have a school, and I wonder how a federal minister of minister of education always approves such a school, that somebody will have a school that not even single sport facility, that a student cannot even come out to even exercise or to even run around. Somebody will just put one big house there, just a building like this, and just a classroom straight in the room, and the petition, the room, and a mix of the petition will approve such a thing as a school. So that we are struggling, it goes so that in everything we are getting it wrong in this country. And how can it is you that practice sport, and those students that are supposed to learn it from the school level, we don't have the facility, we don't have private facility.
Exactly.
And at the school level, we don't even where we are the growing when even for this, when we're growing up, in the school we have even though we may not have a facility, but we have a very big space.
In fact, in my school, our pitch then, teams who play in the Division 1 then in Makoto used to come to our school team to train and use our facility to
but today, all those things are not there. If you go to that school, you win for the school.
Of course. Absolutely.
So most of the state government will have, they don't even have sport in, they don't even have, to me, they don't even have sport in their agenda.
Of course, at this point in time, we need to have a sport, because we know that sport is a big business,
yes.
Spinning business, that countries, developed countries in the world depend on it.
Even the security are suffering. If sport is properly handled in this country, we will be where we are. Because most of the youth that are most of this idle youth will be properly engaged.
Of course. But for now, we need to go on a short break. But before we go on a short break, a whole lot we have for you today, talking about Ghana, Mali. Morocco have stunned Lagos ahead of the Aisha Buhari's Cup, and also Akwa to leave Kaiser Chief in January. This many more will come after the short break. Don't go away. Welcome from that short break. It's still sports on beat right here on the Leadership Africa's studio. Just to let you know that we have 4 teams who have actually gained a promotion to the Nigerian Professional Football League. Talking about the NPFL teams, actually, the NNL Super 8, the finals were actually played yesterday in Enugu, and we saw the likes of Shooting Stars of Akwa, we saw Ibadan, 3SC, we saw Gombe United, we saw Niger Tornadoes, and we saw Raymond Stars, getting to gain promotion in that particular award. But we know there was a whole lot of intrigues during the NLL, where club abandoned matches because a certain referee was supposed to officiate games that are not allowed you to.
In fact, a particular team, I heard the referee was changed. They changed referee 3 times for just 1 match.
Of course.
So, when we will discuss that?
It's still the same story repeatedly all over.
You change the referee, 1 referee.
Just talk us through.
What went at the end. A match was supposed to go on. They brought a referee. There was controversy. Took him back, brought another one. Controversy. 3 referees until the last one. They now settled that. Okay, you can officiate the match. I was just laughing. What kind of league do we run?
Like so the teams now decide which referee they are
like someone said, you see, the word professional is not supposed to be used in any of our leagues. Because when you say something is professional, it means there's something in it that makes it professional. It means there's a certain level of standard that is expected. But I mean, this is what you get in an amateur league, not a professional league, whereby after the end of the league, people go back to the boardroom, and that's where you decide who goes up or who does. Is that how it's supposed to be done? Our game's not supposed to be decided on the pitch. Who qualifies or who gains promotion? It's supposed to be on the pitch, not in the boardroom. For crying out loud! Even what's it called? Insurance. I still crying foul,
of course,
because they were supposed. They said they needed at least 3 goals against Remo Stars to qualify.
And Remo Stars defeated them.
But we are hearing allegations of match fixing, So many things came up this morning. so many things.
Just looking at the NNL, they say NNL is the most important league that we have in the country. And I actually saw videos where a match there, the referee were being chased, were being beaten by some officials, allegedly some officials of our club, and also some fans. And in all this, how do we move forward? Going forward.
Sometimes if coming to even talk about Nigeria sport, it do in some dilemmas, in some because you unwillingly or unknowingly you will utter a word that you will never want to utter. Because and at the same time, as disappointed as it is, when all things happen, the Minister of Youth and Sport is present there. The master of the Nigeria game, who is supposed to be the master of the president or all those things. And at the same time, you call yourself, and at the same time, the organizer of the national league will now come out to say that they have done the Super League, that they have organized a successful league. If not, for goodness sake, just like rightly said, as we are playing, you're supposed to know what you need to hold to win. And if I win this match, based on the point I get, I will qualify. And if I lose the match, or if I need a draw, you already know. But in the Nigerian factor, it's a different thing. There was even remember that even yesterday, even when the Remo Star was even celebrating that they have qualified, was in the dark on their celebration.
Yes.
That they are there is not they have to even hold everyone they lose they raise their coach. They have to hold it again. Running like that. So they already put on. So, in fact, it's totally embarrassing.
I'm telling you.
And I don't know when and where are we going to get it right. And if you see the calibers of people who are that present, who is true in the Nigerian all day, and yet all this nonsense. In fact,
just to sad.
We don't help this country.
That's your prayers. Just to let you know that Nigeria today we're crowned champions of the Super 8 and they expected to play.
But these things are there. Finally, I congratulated Gombe United. Congratulated Nigeria to congratulated the 3 years and the most. These 4 clubs, they deserve this promotion. None of them is new to the Premier League. They just coming back. They were Premier. They were there. Gombe United get relegation about a season ago, and I commended them that after 2 seasons that they were able to bounce back to the league and good have prayed. The present governor is doing well, and I hope you will be able to sustain that and give that club that momentum. They'll be able to survive. They not just come in and go back. This coming and go back is irritating. And at the same time, Nigeria Tornadoes. Nigeria is one of the best. It's one of the big clubs
in Nigeria from in the 80s.
Yes,
Tornadoes.
For them to even get relegation to the is a bit disappointing, but I'm good at their comeback, and I hope they have done their lesson. They should be able to cement their position now. Most of those is just a politics of government because of all those things. Even Nigeria Tornado don't deserve to even get relegation at all.
What do you say about a club like Shooting Stars?
Yes, Shooting Stars, one of the oldest clubs in this country.
You're talking of big club, you're talking of Shooting Stars, Rangers, the mini stars.
When club like Shooting Star go down, is a disservice to people like Senegal who have done the call of those clubs.
Who have
won the continent.
In fact, these are they are supposed to be a symbol.
Exactly.
For other clubs
for this country.
Let's move away from Henry at this point in time.
This point is terrible.
Let's straight to Aisha Barry's Cup, where the likes of Ghana, Mali, Morocco has stormed Lagos for ahead of the commencement of the Aisha Barry's Cup. It will be starting on the 15th of September on Wednesday, and it will run through the 23rd of September, where the champions will actually emerge in that particular tournament. And FIFA has said that it is a ranking tournament, so countries are expected to play very well so that they can actually build on their ranking in the continent. Away from that, we head straight out to football. Well, Team Nigeria, talking about the women's team, actually crushed Senegal in their opening game of the ongoing 2021 African Women's Volleyball Championship in Rwanda. They defeated Senegal 3 straight sets. The first set was 25-16, 25-18. The third set 25-22, and now we're playing. They will be playing the host in any moment from now. They will be playing the host at Rwanda. But quickly, let's talk about the performance against Senegal and what they should do against Rwanda.
I think it was a good one. When the first met last time, they defeated the team Lagos last year, and I think it was a good result for the team, and moral boosting for the team. I hope that they will be able to hold their own against the host today, and because Rwanda is also very strong in when it comes to netball, and at the same time as the host, they are playing at home. They have every advantage on their side. But with this, the victory against Senegal, I think the players and the players and the coach should be able to build on that winning mentality to be able to get the result against Rwanda.
Of course, Akwa, talking about Daniel Akwa, Nigeria, Super Eagles goalkeeper, set to leave Kaiser Chiefs in January. Alpha, do you think that will be the best move for him? It was a cheap pass before going to Kaiser Chiefs, but now
it depends on where he's moving to. That's when we eventually know the club is moving to, or the league in particular. That's when we know if it's a good move or not. That Kaiser Chiefs is a top club in South Africa and even on the continent. So if he's moving to yet another league, another club in South Africa, or he's taking a bigger step to move into Europe. So that will be yet to be seen. The move is still in January, but they've come out to say okay, because he was actually offered a 1.5 year contract, which will be elapsing by January. So let's see where he moves on to. By the time he eventually makes the move, we'll be able to ascertain if it's a good move or not.
Of course, Mohamed Salah has joined the 100 goal club in the English Premiership. We saw him, scoring a goal against Leeds in their 2-0 victory over Leeds yesterday on Sunday, and he has joined the 100 goal score. 29 years old, has made about 150 appearances for Liverpool in the Premier League, and at this point in time he's cruising. Do you see him getting to reach the records of the one that Thierry Henry has set, Alachera has set, Frank Lampard? Do you see him reaching that mark in the English Premiership?
Well, congratulations! I congratulate you. To reach the 100 goals, because it's not an easy task. At the same time, he reached the mark within a very short time compared to the other players that you mentioned. And at the same time, be an African, I think it deserves all our support and to congratulate him, and hope he will be able to sustain it, sustain the mettle before this league. We just 4 games into the league season, and before the end of this season, if he can be able to score like 10, 20 goals. That means by the end of the season, you will have around 120 goals. You have opportunities to still increase the standing goal.
Just to let you know that Salah actually become the 30th player to actually reach that 100 goal record in the English Premiership. Looking at the result that went down in over the weekend, we saw Crystal Palace hammering Tottenham 3-0. No, I didn't see that coming. Arsenal were 1-0. Winners over Norwich. Finally, they returned to winning ways.
The Arsenal I was surprised that Arsenal fan was seeing the goal.
The goal was
very questionable. It was even very questionable. To me, it's an offside goal.
Exactly. No, it's a goal.
No, Obama was an offside position.
It's a goal. It was
a build up to the party and then
build up.
But Obama was not in the position to score that goal.
Agree. Build up to the goal. Aubameyang was offside. But when Pepe finally played the last ball, Pepe was ahead of Aubameyang. That's why they actually allowed the goal. If Adibin Pepe was not ahead of Aubameyang, they will actually call up the goal and rule the goal offside, because even though VAR actually checked the goal and they saw that it was the clean goal.
But I think Arsenal management should know that they still need
to go, because come on, it's Norwich.
Because if Arsenal will play against a Norwich at the Emirates Stadium, and you are struggling to beat Norwich. No.
Of course, Leicester City lost at home to Manchester City 1-0. Manchester United 4-1, winners over Newcastle. We saw Ronaldo coming back, hitting brace. After he celebrated, his smile is reaching his ear at this point in time.
But honestly, give to Ronaldo. I was a big shock when I saw him calling the brace on the first and the third. When we were hoping that he's already aging. The guy gets
36 years old.
In fact, a new statistic came up that they tried to calculate the speed he took for the second goal, and they said it was the speed of a usual 25-year-old. Meaning, if you're going to race with a 25-year-old, he will still gap us.
I remember before coming
he's
to that match,
extraordinary
he's quite a hat trick for his national team.
No, he braced.
He braced for his national team. Ronaldo, and I think that if you look at it now, based on that performance, the Manchester United, even because their morale has
of course, yes, the atmosphere, you know, positive
atmosphere, and now Pogba is talking about do I need to leave again? So what I want is the team is against the players. If I can still be here, I'll get what I want. And I think, and if Pogba decided to look put about the transfer movement aside and concentrate and let us work together, you see Mazima definitely now at the end of it, apparently they're talking the table. So with 10 points, we have the 10 points with the sales 10 points, Liverpool 10 points, while Man City has 9 points. But they are just a better goal difference ahead of Chelsea and Liverpool. So now this season, it's 5 for 5.
So credit to Lukaku also, who scored for the first time in his life at Stamford Bridge. Incidentally, people don't even know that.
He's got the praise.
Yes, both as a Chelsea player and even when he was not at Chelsea, he had never scored at Stamford Bridge. So this was the first time he was scoring at Stamford Bridge.
Hitting a brace.
So good one also. He has shown that he's also a complete marksman. So I really expect him and Ronaldo to continue their rivalry in Italy. They're back to England to continue who end top goal scorer at the end of the season. So good one also for Lukaku.
Honestly, Lukaku has coming to take over the rivalry for the goal. People like Salah, Mane, Hurricane, and Aguero has left. So all other strikers in the Premier League have to watch out for Lukaku. First two game, 3 goals. After this is first 2 games, and out of the first 2 we have 3 goals. So
very impressive performance from Lukaku. Other matches that were actually not decided. So Southampton playing 0-0 with West Ham, Watford. The action the forward at home to Wolves 2-0. Chelsea 3-0 winners over Aston Villa at the Stamford Bridge. While Liverpool actually defeated Leeds 3-0. That ended.
And if you look at Watford, I don't know. That was our own man. Ekon was the captain of the team.
We actually have 3 Nigerians, or is it 4? About 4 Nigerians in that team.
And so far, Dennis. So far, yeah, we did at their own home. But the first time Ekon captain, I feel terribly bad. I wish he had won that match so I can celebrate with you. Unfortunately, he captain team and lost the match 2-0 on their own ground. It's not a positive sign for the Nigerian player there.
Of course,
they need to wake up.
Not a positive sign, and they need to actually wake up. Poga is actually thinking of signing new contract at Manchester United. On this note, I want to say thank you to our guest in the house, Salif Usman Alpha, for being on the show today. Of course, we say thank you to our viewers for staying with us. We return with another bigger and better package tomorrow when Sports Orbit come live to you. But for now, my name is Olawale Ayona. I'm saying bye for now. Do have a good day.